guys, today we're going to be focusing on how to solve problems that involve fractions. I'm going to make two videos about two different types of fraction problems because the way that we solve them is very, very different. Now we've already learned how to solve this type of fraction problem, so I will not be going over that today. If you need a refresher on how to solve a problem like this, where there's a very small fraction with some adding or subtracting, you can watch the video from Tuesday. This is actually the second example from that video. In this video, I want to focus on problems that don't have small fractions, but instead have a ginormous fraction. In this first example, I have a fraction that takes up the entire left-hand side of the problem. The whole left-hand side is a fraction. The x and the -7 are all on top. In this type of problem, where the entire side is a fraction, we can solve this by making the other side a fraction as well and doing cross multiplying. So, before I cross multiply, it's very important that both sides of the equal sign are a fraction. So the left side is already one big fraction. I just need to make the right side a fraction, and I can do that by putting it over 1. Now I can do cross multiplication. We practiced this earlier in the week. Cross multiplication is when you take the bottom of one fraction and you go diagonally through the equal sign and you multiply it by the top of the other fraction. In this problem, I will be multiplying 1 times x minus 7. But when you times something by 1, it doesn't change. Then we bring down the equal sign. And we start from the bottom of the other fraction. We go diagonally through the equal sign. And so on the right-hand side, I will be multiplying the 3 with the -12. Again, I multiplied this 1 times the x minus 7, and 1 times anything stays the same. So this stayed in x minus 7. I brought down my equal sign, and then I multiplied this 3 times this -12, and 3 times -12 is -36. To finish up this problem, all I need to do is take my -7 and add it to the other side, and I get my final answer, which is -29. Remember, if you're not feeling confident, you can always take your final answer and plug it back in up here. -29 minus 7 is -38. No, is -36, hopefully. And -36 divided by 3 should be -12. I should probably check that on a calculator. No shame in using a calculator. I'm going to grab my handy dandy TI 30X IIS. -29 minus 7 is -36. That's good. And then divided by 3 is -12. I did it right. Yay. All right, let's try one more problem like this with a really big fraction. Now, it's really important on these problems. The fraction does take up the entire side of the equal sign. There's nothing else that's not part of the fraction. So that's kind of the defining features of this problem. So we've got a huge fraction, the entire side of the equal sign. And again, we're going to do cross multiplying. In this scenario, the fraction was on the other side. It was on the right-hand side. And so I'm going to make the left-hand side also a fraction. I'll make this a 6/1. When you're cross multiplying, you can pick which way you want to multiply first. So what I like to do is I like to always multiply in the direction where it's going to give me my letter X written on the first side, because I'm more comfortable and familiar with having the letter X on the left-hand side. So I'm going to start this one by doing this one diagonally with the x minus 2, because again, I just really like having the letter on this side. Then I'll bring down my equal sign, and then for the other side, I'm going to do this 4 times that 6. Okay, so again, I chose on this problem to do this 1 times the x minus 2 first, so that my x could be on the left-hand side, because that's where I want it to be. And then the 4 times the 6, and then we add 2 on both sides, and we get 26. Again, you can plug that back in up here. 26 minus 2 is 24, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. This concludes our first video.